Welcome to The Real Story. You might remember that attack on our troops in Iraq last January where the insurgents posed as American soldiers and infiltrated a government compound. They killed 5 of our troops. At the time, the military officials believed that elements of the Iranian government were involved. Now we finally have evidence of it. The military announced today that they have been holding a senior Hezbollah operative who has, quote, been working in Iraq as a surrogate for the Iranian Quds Force, end quote. This operative apparently was a liaison between Iran and a group that carried out the January attack, and he helped supply information gathered by the Iranian Quds Force to the insurgents. In addition, this liaison helped organize groups of 20 to 60 Iraqis. He brought them to camps outside Tehran, trained them, and then returned them to Iraq to carry out attacks against us. The military also said today it would be, quote, hard to imagine that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, isn't fully aware of everything that is going on. But you know what? If you watch this program every night, you're not surprised by this. We've been telling you this for a while. The real story is, we've been saying all along that everything you see going on in Iraq is really about Iran. In fact, before the Iraq war even started, I was telling my radio listeners, this isn't about weapons of mass destruction. This is about changing the face of the Middle East and surrounding Iran with stable allies like Iraq and Afghanistan and popping the head of that snake. Unfortunately, our leaders never owned up to that. They never stood in front of you, the American people, and made the case that if we don't stop Iran in Iraq, then we are going to be fighting a war of World War II proportions. To give you a little historical analogy, this is like George W. Bush has been telling the American people that actually we're just fighting Italy, when he knows all along that it's really Germany that is pulling the strings. Iran is Germany. People ask me all the time, what does victory in Iraq really look like? How do we know that we've even won? To me, it's pretty simple. We win when the Islamic government of Iran collapses and the Iranian people are finally free to chart their own course. Peter Brooks is a senior fellow for the National Security Affairs with the Heritage Foundation. Peter, we talked about this. We knew this months ago. Right. Nobody was talking about it then. Nobody's willing to talk about it now, really. When do we face up to what Iran really is?
Well, it's another damning indictment of Iran. The interesting thing here, Glenn, that I may have missed it when you said it. This person is Hezbollah, which is Lebanese Shia. This is a friend of Iran that's working with Iran to train Iraqi militants and operate Iraqi militants not only in Iraq, but they're training them alongside the Quds Force in Iran as well. So it's not just Iran, as we've pointed out. It's also Iran's friend Hezbollah and a Shia group in Lebanon that's helping them.
Okay, Peter, you know and I know that the entire Middle East, I see it, it's a house of cards, or it's dominoes. Egypt is going to fall. Saudi Arabia is going to fall. All of these things are going to come down because Iran has their fingers in the entire pie, do they not?
Absolutely. Iran hopes to create an arc of influence, an Iranian arc of influence from the Persian Gulf to the Eastern Mediterranean. The government in Lebanon right now is under siege by Hezbollah, an Iranian ally. They're allied with Syria. And if you look at the map, you think of it in your mind, you got Iran, you got Iraq. If they can get Iraq to fall, you've got Afghanistan, you've got Syria, you've got Lebanon, and all of a sudden you have this crest of influence across the Middle East that belongs to Iran.
Well, this is what I love, Peter, is, you know, after this stunning attack where they came in dressed like us in our own SUV vehicles, you know, shot a bunch of people, steal our soldiers. It's just stunning. It really is a remember the main kind of moment that nobody wants to pay attention to. We made the Ayatollah promise that they wouldn't get involved, and he did.
Right. He did make that promise, but that was after these attacks, Glenn. But the point here is we're dealing with, this was just January and March.
I understand that, but I mean, Peter, this is what we're dealing with evil people who are saying, we weren't involved.
I'm not arguing with that. I just want to get the timeline right. I just want to get the timeline right.
Yeah.
The important thing is here, we're dealing with professionals. Hezbollah is on the same level as a terrorist group as Al-Qaeda, in my mind. These are very serious. They're very professional. That's the unfortunate part of it. We've got to take these guys down in Iraq.
All right, Peter, and real quick, would you say that the end game is for a global caliphate, a global Islamic government.
Well, that's certainly Al-Qaeda's purpose. Iran at the moment wants to dominate the Middle East. They're looking at it. They want to destroy the United States and our presence there, and then they want to get at Israel.
Peter, I tell you what, I want to have you back in the next couple of days. Maybe we can do it tomorrow. I would like to float a theory by you, and that is maybe we should just let him duke it out. Can we talk about that in the coming days?
Absolutely.
All right.